I need to feel your energy today from start to finish.
Come on, let's go.
Let's crank this thing up. It get real ferocious, I'm trying to tell you.
Turn me up all day.
From the locker room to the broadcast booth, breaking news and the truth behind every take from a real NFL insider and television analyst.
Now get ready for the NFL show where the conversation gets real and the fans get a voice. It's time for the Lake Lewis Jr. Show here on ESPN Radio.
And that's football.
Welcome, everyone, to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Appreciate you joining us always right here live on ESPN Radio. And we've got another good one lined up for you today. And remember, if you're just joining us and this is your first time joining us, this is your home for NFL and Washington Commanders content, from a person that is in the building every day. Obviously, we have 2 more weeks before training camp starts, and I'll be back up there myself, along with the fellas and the big man, Trent Scott, who joins me on Tuesdays. So remember, once the season gets back going, starts back up, Trent will be back on with myself as well as some of his teammates, and we'll be doing the show from inside the Washington Commanders practice facility inside the bubble. So had a lot of success with that. Already had a couple of shows, if you want to call them pilot shows, that we did. Had Jeremy Reeves joining Trent and myself the first show. And then the second show, we had last year's number 1 draft pick, first round draft pick, Josh Connerly Jr. joining Andrew Wiley, the longtime veteran, and Trent and myself. So, started that off, and we've got a good lineup set up for you guys on Tuesday. So you'll hear that exclusively right here on ESPN Radio, and also here ESPN Radio in Richmond. Today, I want to go over a couple things. I want to talk about 3 breakthrough players that I think could have breakthroughs, should have breakthroughs, because I think they're going to have much better coaching. And we'll dissect that a little bit and talk about that. Before we do that, we're going to talk about something that I just recently saw, and it's our cohorts right here at ESPN, that I'm a little disappointed in, to be honest with you, to say the least. And I'll talk about why I'm upset with them. So before we do that, if you want to chime in, all you have to do is give us a call at 804-327-0888. And you can also check out this broadcast a little bit later on. You can check it out and watch it on YouTube, kind of a TV style setup with myself. And then you'll also see, my partner in crime right here in the studio, my super producer, Mr. Alan Sandage. Let's bring him on. What's going on, Al?
Nothing much.
Another busy day, right? Another busy Tuesday for everybody involved.
Yeah. I'm actually disappointed for once because I was trying to watch the other football. Now I have to talk about our football while I'm supposed to be looking at the other football. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off.
Well, yeah. So
highlights, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you remember last week you got in trouble because you didn't know some of the highlights, and I had to defend my guy, man. I had someone tell me, how could I let this young guy disrespect John Riggins? And I was like,
didn't say anything disrespectful.
He didn't disrespect John Riggins. He just said he never saw him. Yeah. I mean, if you are of a certain age, there are players that you didn't see. If someone said, man, you're disrespecting Wilt Chamberlain, I never saw Wilt Chamberlain. I seen some grainy footage. I seen him holding a sheet of paper that said he scored 100 points in a game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there and say he didn't do it, but, because there were people that were there supposedly. So anyway, I had to defend my guys. No, I'm not letting anybody take shots.
Don't blame me. I wasn't born yet. Blame my parents. I wasn't here.
The guy told me, though, and he was cool. It's a guy that supports what I do, so I have no problem with him. But he did say, he's like, man, you were supposed to school him or give him some, a heads up, or basically you were supposed to have seen John Riggins before we spoke about John Riggins. And I'm like, listen, even if you pulled up a couple YouTube videos and saw him for the first time that way, it doesn't negate the fact that you never saw him live. It's just it's a total difference from getting your information off YouTube as opposed to if you actually saw something happen live.
Yeah, and not having seen John Riggins isn't the same as me not knowing of John Riggins. I feel like if I didn't know of John Riggins, that would be more disrespectful to the game of football and to the
100%.
Redskins Commanders than me being like, I never saw him play.
And you didn't do that.
Yeah, no.
You weren't being disrespectful. And that's the thing, folks. Everybody has an opinion. That's just the world we live in. So
when I'm disrespectful, I'm usually pretty blatant about it.
Well, listen, speaking of disrespectful, I guess this is a good time to say this real quick. I'm going to start giving you guys, the fans, because I've had some people ask me, daily updates. Okay. So I'm going to, call it, just Washington Commanders news in 6 minutes. I'm going to give it to you in 6 minutes. You'll be able to, see it on YouTube, but we'll talk about some of the stuff here on the show. But, and I got to do this again. I got to shamelessly plug my YouTube channel because I keep mentioning it. It's at Lake Lewis Jr. That's everything, folks, at Lake Lewis Jr. So, that's the only time you hear me do that. So anyway, I want to talk about the latest things that are going on a daily basis. So I'll let you guys be able to chime in and see those things. But one of the things that I was going to talk about when I did it tomorrow, because I was going to start it tomorrow, I'm like, nah, we're going to talk about this today. I'm a little disappointed in, I can't say I'm disappointed in ESPN, because first of all, they're good to me. They're good to you, Alan, but I'm not disappointed in them. I'm disappointed in the fact that, ESPN has, at this time of year, they have their top 25, basically, for each position group. Okay. Or top 10, but then they give you honorable mention guys, and it comes out to be like 20 guys. Remember, we talked about this last week.
Mhm.
Deron Payne wasn't on the defensive tackle list at all. Well, it's the coaches, scouts, and executives who are doing the ESPN. It's not like the NFL. You go to NFL.com or anything like that, where it's the players who are basically coming up with their top 100. It's all player oriented for that version. But for the ESPN version, they've gone the other route. They've gotten it from the coaches, executives, and scouts. And they've come up with their top 10 quarterbacks going into 2026. And I got to tell you, my friend, to say the least, I am a little disappointed in this list. And I'm going to tell you why I'm disappointed in this list. There's a gentleman up in D.C., wears number 5, that was the NFL Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. Last year was kind of snake bit with some injuries, but still played well when he was on the field. He's not on the list. He's not on the top 10. But guess who is on the top 10? Drake May, Caleb Williams, those guys.
If Man is on there too. He's always got to be top 10, right?
Yeah, but
you can't make a list without Justin Herbert in your top 10.
So I'm like, really? Really? Because if you're, and this is where I'm going to call out the contradiction, the hypocrisy. If you are going to put Justin Herbert on there, and you're going to put Caleb Williams on there, and you're going to put Drake May on there, I could see why you're going to say Drake May goes on there, because he just took the Patriots to the Super Bowl. Okay. I could see why you may want to put your number 1 draft pick from 2 years ago, who didn't get the NFL Rookie of the Year, that went to the number 2 pick, which is Jayden Daniels. Okay. But I could see why you put Caleb Williams on there, because they went to the playoffs. So if you're doing this based off of the playoffs, then there's some other hypocrisy on this list too, because there's some gentlemen on here whose teams definitely didn't make the playoffs, and they're still on this list, and they're on this list every freaking year. Okay. So the problem I have with this is I'm going to move up. Justin Herbert is number 7 on this list, Alan. Has Justin Herbert ever won anything?
No, I mean, I'm the only person I feel like sometimes that keeps bringing that up. I don't know why.
I mean, like,
why
really?
we de facto put him on top 10 lists when,
because he's 6'5", and he, he looks like if he walks into the room, you're gonna like, whoa, that's a big dude.
Well, I understand the talent aspect, but I don't like to use this because I know it's very controversial whenever you say Dak Prescott, but people will keep Dak Prescott off a top 10 list for the same reasons that they
they're
don't want to
put Justin Herbert on.
Yeah, it's really strange to me.
Thank you.
And I think Dak statistically probably has better years than Justin Herbert, based off of like the fact that neither one of them really do anything in the postseason. But during the regular season, Dak puts up numbers. Herbert sometimes puts up numbers, and sometimes he's just his own worst enemy. But I
don't care about all that.
I don't understand how he cracks high enough on a top 10 list. If anything, he's my gatekeeper. He's at 9 or 10 for me most of the time on the list, not at 7.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to call out the hypocrisy. Okay, it's not the first half of the list. The first half of the list is the big boys. It's the same guys every year. It's number one on this list is Josh Allen. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes, coming off a knee injury. He's back out on the field now, but it's Patrick Mahomes. We get it. Okay, Matt Stafford, coming off an MVP season, 37, 38 years old right now. Okay, he's at 3. Joe Burrow is number 5. Now, I'm going to say this. It may be very unfavorable. Joe Burrow is a great football player. Throws one of the nicest passes in all of football. Joe Burrow has gone to a Super Bowl. He's had some success. He's got the 2 most deadly wide receiver tandem in the NFL. I don't think anyone's ever going to debate that right now, Cincinnati, with T. Higgins as your number 2 and Jamar Chase as your number 1, that's the best 1-2 punch wide receiver wise in the league to go along with a Pro Bowl quarterback in Joe Burrow. They haven't won anything. They got to a Super Bowl and they lost, but since that Super Bowl, they haven't even made the playoffs, man.
Well, the Bengals are one of the more inconsistent teams too, and I think Burrow gets a pass because of the flashiness, right? Like we see a lot of big plays from Burrow and Chase. What we don't see is a lot of that resulting in wins lately, and they're also really, really, really slow to start a season out most of the time. But the talent you can't deny, right? You can't.
Yeah. I'm not. I would never say Joe Burrow's not like that because he is.
Yeah.
But I also know they haven't been winning, and I don't care. Don't tell me they don't have any defense. When you put all that money into your quarterback and your 2 wide receivers, you're supposed to just outscore people. Bottom line, regardless of how porous your defense is. So my issue isn't even with Burrow, even though I don't know if number 4, that's kind of high because he leapfrogged Lamar Jackson. They have Lamar Jackson at number 5.
Well, they're always going to slot Lamar.
The disrespect.
Yeah, they're always going to slot Lamar behind Burrow and anybody else they perceive to be a better passer, despite Lamar Jackson making leaps and bounds of improvement in his passing and solidifying himself as somebody that should be respected with not only the run ability, but the ability to read the field and all that stuff. Like it's still a slight bias to him. I mean,
there's no slight bias.
The players had him ranked at 69 in their top 100 list.
You know what, man?
So,
there's going to be venom. And I mean, when
I'm a little confused by that, even though I think the explanation was, well, he was hurt a lot last year. I still don't buy
everybody gets hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow been hurt a lot. And he's number 4.
He stays hurt.
Justin Herbert's been hurt, and it hasn't won, and they got him at 7.
Patrick Mahomes is literally hurt.
Dak Prescott gets hurt. Hasn't been here, but it's coming. So again, this isn't to discredit any of these worthy guys on the list, but I have a problem with you putting 2 younger guys that have not had the success that, as far as an individual standpoint, that Jayden Daniels has had. And I'm sorry, I don't, just because you took a team to a Super Bowl and can Alan, can I even say that fairly? Did Drake May take the New England Patriots to the Super Bowl?
He took them somewhere. It wasn't to the Super Bowl. I think that defense took him to the Super Bowl because he had some really, really bad performances.
And historically, the easiest schedule ever for a Super Bowl participant.
Yeah. So I will give him credit for this. He didn't lose the games for them, which is something we've seen some quarterbacks do when they play poorly.
I don't know about that Super Bowl, bro.
The Super Bowl,
like they're in headlights.
I'm talking about up until the Super Bowl. The actual Super Bowl itself, he could have played better and they still would have lost.
Listen, man, I'm sorry. And I'm saying it, and I got to see these guys, but I still got a job to do. that guy had extra weight in the back of his pants in the Super Bowl. Just call it like it is. He wet the bed, whatever you want to call it. He walked around with some extra pounds in the back of his underwear in that Super Bowl. That was on him. You can't say, oh, well, give him all the credit. And he's on this list because he took him to the Super Bowl, but then you can't say that he wet the bed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I'm not defending his Super Bowl performance, but it was similar to when Patrick Mahomes first played the Buccaneers that first Super Bowl, and the offensive line completely collapsed on him. Like, he looked awful.
He did.
Drake May looked awful. You know me, I'm always looking at the line anyway. I want to fight Will Campbell before I fight Drake May. Will Campbell would get it first.
Then I
would go after Drake May, because there comes a point where even in your second year, man, we've seen you overcome some of these obstacles and like the reluctance to use his legs and just the reluctance to play within the system, the hesitation, the fear is what bothered me the most. But that magnitude and that moment, we've seen some guys, the first time come through and look a little rough. I think B. Mitch had his great story about how the guys told him, kind of hyped him up a little bit for his first Super Bowl. I can only imagine what that would have been like for a quarterback in his first Super Bowl. So I'm willing to give him a pass to see it one more time if he gets back. If not, and that's our lasting memory of him, then yeah, he's a choker.
Okay, so let's just say you do want to have. Yeah, let's just say you do want to have Drake May on there. Okay,
I would never put Drake May in front of Jayden Daniels.
But okay, thank you. And
that was me
also
personally
say
before.
this. And let's just say you want to have Caleb on there. We know Caleb was the number one pick in the draft, and they always want one of those guys to shine. But this is my thing: if you're going by what you saw just for 1 year last year, I mean, I'm gonna go back and say, sure, Drake May went to the Super Bowl. But if you have Caleb on there just because they made the playoffs, Jayden Daniels took a team to the NFC Championship. And I'm going to say this, Chicago or New England have had success over the past 30 years. Jayden Daniels did something this franchise hadn't seen before you were born, man. I mean, so let's put this in perspective here. Like, what is this list? And I'm saying this to all the NFL execs, coaches, and scouts who put this list together. It's porous, man. It's just not the list that I think should be. And I'm not crying over Jayden Daniels specifically, but I'm saying Jordan Love's not on there. And we know Jordan Love's up and down. He's erratic. Okay, so but you could make an argument that Jordan Love could be over there because Jared Goff is number 9. What has Jared Goff done since he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams? Okay, Detroit. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not trying to poop on Jared here, but I'm just saying.
I give everybody full credit for turning Detroit around. I don't care who it is.
Okay.
They all should be in the Ring of Honor for them.
Did Detroit make the playoffs last year?
Nah, they struggled.
Okay, man. So what are we doing? That's all I'm asking.
The explanation here, and I don't want to hold up your call, but the explanation here says that Caleb won the tiebreaker between Darnold, Love, and Daniels because 4 teams said he was the hardest to prepare for and defend. So if they're talking to execs and scouts and defensive coordinators,
is
things
that wait, time out. Hold on, because we got to get our caller on. I get it, but is he the hardest to prepare for because of him or because of Ben Johnson? And was Jayden not hard to prepare for because of him or because of Cliff Kingsbury, who got fired?
I mean, personally, I think it's a combination of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And then I do think that Jayden was a little stagnant last year and Cliff was a little predictable. So yeah, I guess it's probably a bit of both, but at the end of the day, we can't tell the guys who's harder to prepare for or whatnot. It's their opinion, unfortunately.
The coaches said that. So I'm I can't wait to just.
If I shook him up in a bag, I'd be more afraid of Jayden and Caleb than Darnold and Love.
You think?
Yeah.
And Jared Goff.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of Jared Goff.
Come on, man.
C3PO.
I just don't like this. And then all for Sam Darnold. Hey. you didn't just win a Super Bowl last year. You know, you didn't just take Seattle to a Super Bowl. And the year before, you didn't go 14-2 or what was it, 15?
Darnold will never get the love that he deserves because of how the majority of his career has went. People won't let that go. Even with the Super Bowl win, they still won't let it go.
So again, this list is tainted. And the reason for being tainted is because it's not just a what have you done for me lately list, because some of these guys haven't done anything lately. So it's just a tainted list. So it's a tainted list. I'm sorry. So let's bring on our caller, Mike B. What's going on, Mike?
What's happening? LL, happy Tuesday, man. Are you hot enough out there, brother?
Man, you know, I hate the disrespect that the franchise gets, man. And people still try to lump it to the good old days. Well, not even the good old days, the bad old days. And it's not the same. And to have Jayden Daniels on some list going into last year as high as 4 or 5, to have him not on the list because he had, a so-so season with injuries.
Correct.
I mean, is that what is that? So, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm a little hot about that because yeah.
I mean, the thing is, what makes me even more upset is when you see who is on the list. I don't understand the Justin fascination, man, since this guy came into the list. I'm not saying he's garbage.
He's not. He's good. But
like you said, what has he done for him to consistently? And it's like they're waiting for him to come into this idea of what they believe he should be. Well, he's not there. This dude don't belong on the list, man.
Yeah,
at all. I rather see Hurts on the list, and I say that being a Commanders fan. I know I'm gonna lose my Commanders card, but I rather see Jalen Hurts on the list.
I'm 100% with you. I guess Jalen Hurts had a bad year last year, and they're just totally throwing his career in the trash. But yet they have Jared Goff, who didn't make playoffs last year, but they have him on there. It just doesn't make sense to me. So again, I'm not gonna tell a scout. Well, I can tell some scouts. Some scouts stink. Let's call it like it is. Just because you're a scout doesn't mean you know everything. But just like there's some journalists that they're gonna come back and say stink as well. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But again, I just think that this kid, number 5, was the NFL's toy going into the season last year. He was their newest toy that they're driving around everywhere. And it's almost like you forgot. Okay, it's almost like what's being said here. The narrative that's being painted is that first year was a fluke. That's the real guy last year. That's the one. That's what it is. Yeah. Commanders fans, you should expect last year's version, 2025 version of Jayden Daniels to be the real Jayden Daniels. Nah, I don't buy that at all. I know what I see with my eyes every day, and that kid's elite. And I hope this gets him as upset as I am. And it's not even me they're talking about. I hope it puts venom in his blood right now so that he can come out on fire.
I'm telling he sees this stuff and he hears it, and it's ridiculous to me, man. It just doesn't make. Oh, poor Sam! All he did was win a Super Bowl.
Right?
Is Sam even on the list?
No, and that's what I was just saying. He won a Super Bowl, and the year before that in Minnesota, they won 14 games, and yet. That doesn't mean anything. Two different coaches, two different coaching styles, and they still don't have them on the list. So what is this list? It's a popularity. It's a popularity contest.
Yes, it is.
That's what it is.
Yes, it is. 1,000%. That's what it is, man. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Pat is still there at number 2. He got injured. He had a Jayden year. He got injured, missed a lot of games, but
missed the playoffs.
Yeah. So some of this is recency bias, of course. Some of it is recency. You had a lot of success. That's why your Mays and your Caleb's are on there. But it's just, nah. I can't. I can't. It reminds me of people who, that entire Jordan Braun debate that's going to be going on till the resurrection. And you keep one of them off the list just because, I don't care if you a pro Mike or pro bro. If those folks are not on your Mount Rushmore, I don't want to see your list, man.
Right, because your list is
gotta
tainted.
have some guys on there, man.
Your list is tainted. Bottom line, that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
this list to me,
AKA trash.
Right, this list is trash. That's what it is. So with that said, we're going to take a break. And Mike, I appreciate you calling, my friend, as always, folks.
Yes, sir.
All right. So listen, folks, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll switch gears a little bit. But Alan, if we have enough time, maybe we should do our 10, man. I think we did that before, and it was more of a realistic 10. Okay.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't really.
Don't tell me you're okay with this list.
I'm okay with the list because it's these people's opinions. And one thing that we do in sports, we do it too often, actually, is we try to talk people down from their opinions when these opinions are based on their experiences and how they perceive it. If we were talking like statistics and things like that, something that's more debatable, but me thinking that I prefer Caleb Williams over Jayden Daniels because of how hard it is to prepare for the game playing against them.
I'm not even upset with Caleb being on here.
I know
it's the Goffs and Mays that got me hot.
That is, and that's just something that I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. I don't know how we get away from just giving Goff and giving the Herberts like a place. Like again, Sam Darnold, the last 2 years of his play should have erased at least 5 years of his previous play. Like he should get
He's won over 30 games.
Yeah, he should get a little bit more respect. And I say that because Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl and got Super Bowl MVP, and people were just up in arms when you didn't put him on the top 10 list. And we just accept Sam Darnold being 15th on most people's list still. And I'm like, dude, he actually played well, and he's actually played well for 2 years, and he's actually statistically played well on top of having the wins.
You want in your quarterback, that kid has done it.
Yeah,
and he's not on this list.
And I'm not trying to stop for him to be, in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes and those guys.
No, we're not. But he's definitely. I'm taking him over Jared Goff any day of the week.
Absolutely. So I'm confused. I take him over Justin Herbert too. Like this version of him,
bruh. I mean,
it's just really strange.
Come on, man.
Where we pick and choose our battles with these things, man.
Come on, man. So it's okay. It's okay. Jaden's going to be upset. Jordan Love's going to be upset. Sam Darnold's going to be upset.
Jordan Love can be mad all he wants. It is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, there are some guys that you can make legit arguments that could have been on the list.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Sam Darnold's just like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, look, he's going to say, but you know what? A lot of these guys on this list don't have what I'm going to be getting this year at a ceremony, a ring.
They would have, if I was Sam Darnold and I came from what he came from professionally and I won a Super Bowl, they would cut that over the beat of ether. I still be talking trash to everybody who doubted me and all this and that. He was so humble and chill and whatever about everything. It's kind of hard for me to even imagine that he cares. Whereas Jayden Daniels, who's highly competitive, is definitely going to take this as disrespect.
So let's put this in perspective. On this list of their 10, there's only 2 guys that have Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of
2.
We don't get a lot of diversity in Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, there's 2, and then if you really want to expand it, there's 2 more that participated in the Super Bowl and lost, and that was Joe Burrow and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's all I'm saying, man. What are we doing here? So let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll have a lot more here. You're listening to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show right here on ESPN Radio. And, we're talking about a little thing that had me heated in the first segment, and that was the fact that Jayden Daniels isn't on the ESPN NFL coaches, scouts, executives, top 10 quarterback list. And there's some guys on there that although they're really talented football players, I think they're just a little suspect to be on that list so soon, so early. All right. So we have another caller that's waiting to come on with us, and that's Dolphin Dave. What's going on, Dave? What's going on?
Hey, listen, I want to congratulate John Riggins for his honor. I think it's been way a long time coming. It should have happened before.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to let you know my great memory of John Riggins was not so great I remember him running all over the Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he just, back in the day, before these, you had, I hate to say, muscles on top of muscles, and you had, the really quick running backs. This was a situation. There were two running backs I remember that you just did not want to get a full head of steam and then try to tackle. And that was John Riggins. The other one was for the Dolphins, a guy named Larry Zonka.
Absolutely.
And, both of those guys could run over you in a heartbeat. And you've definitely felt it. And then, you didn't want to go ahead and have to deal with that the next time. It was called, back in the day, it was called intimidation. We still have it. But those guys were, John Riggins, honestly, it's been a long time coming getting the honor. I don't understand why he didn't get it beforehand, but congratulations to him, man, because he was a true football player.
Absolutely. All right. Good stuff, Dave. Appreciate the call. And yeah, that's true. We talked about this the other day with John Riggins, deserving, should have happened a long time ago. Obviously, different circumstances with a porous ownership group before, but Josh Harris, the new owner for the Commanders, is getting everything right now. And he's going back and he's fixing a lot of wrongs. He's righting a lot of wrongs that were done previously. So yeah, that's going to be a big day when they play the Los Angeles Rams. That's going to be the game that his number 44 is retired. Obviously I'll be there and I can't wait for that. And I know a lot of the fans from my fan show on Friday from all over the world are actually coming in town for that game as well. So we're going to have a big party. Hopefully you can get John to come through the suite and talk to those folks. So, all right. So let's talk about some guys that hope one day they could be looked at, in the same light as a John Riggins, which means that they've had a successful NFL career. Well, so far, it hasn't necessarily started off that way. And I think that these are three young men that have talent. I think these are three young men that with the proper coaching could really add to the Commanders roster. Who are those three guys? And what we're talking about right now are three breakthrough players, guys that I think this year, Allen, have a legit chance to show you some value. And I'm not saying they're going to make the Pro Bowl or they're going to even start. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that they're guys that will add to their position groups and get some meaningful reps on the field, because all three of them can do some things that, you can make an argument that some of the guys ahead of them may not be able to do as well. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about tight end Ben Sinnott. I think everyone remembers last year when Ben came in, Zach Ertz got hurt. Ben Sinnott came in and actually showed me a little something, down the stretch. Finished the season with only 11 catches, 114 yards and a touchdown. But those 11 catches showed you that if used properly, if given opportunity, that he has an opportunity to add to that tight end room. Is he going to be the starter this year over Chig Okonkwo? Absolutely not. Is he going to be the blocking bruiser over John Bates? Absolutely not. But I think he can be a combo of both of those guys and get some meaningful reps. Everyone remembers when Ben Sinnott came out of Kansas State, there was some comparisons thrown around for him, to a guy by the name of Chris Cooley. A lot of people remember Chris Cooley was an H-back tight end. That's what Ben Sinnott was kind of utilized at Kansas State. And we never saw it come to fruition in Washington so far. So what are your thoughts on Ben?
Yeah, I like Ben. I liked it when he came out. I thought he would be similar to like an H-back position because he did a little bit of that at Kansas State, I believe, blocking and the receiving portion of it. I know he's a better receiving tight end than Bates, and they would probably love to slot him in as the second option in a like 12 personnel package or something like that. I would like to see him just lean more into the fact that he could be the next option for playmaking, right? Like
that's what I say.
That's what the Commanders sorely need. They need guys that can extend plays, get yak, and those times where you get the 3-yard catch, can somebody extend that to 7-8 more yards, right? Like they've been lacking that with Zach Ertz. He was great tight end, but he had a lot of Jason Witten in him at the end of his career, whereas 7-yard catch, 7-yard gain.
It's 7-8. That's it.
So I think Stinnett could be, a better version of that. I like to see him use more like Tyler Higbee from the Rams if that was possible, but I don't think they've got the same frame.
Yeah, Higby's a little bigger.
Yeah.
But again, Ben 6'4", 250, and he's a guy that I think, the game doesn't always hit players right away. It takes time sometimes for guys to have everything slow down where they can process the playbook, let alone the speed of the game. And it's probably taken him a year longer than maybe it took a guy like, say, Jayden Daniels, came in and hit the ground running as a rookie. It just doesn't work out like that for everyone. So I think this year for him, I think this is the year that you'll start to see the light bulb is on and he's adequate. He's a guy that they can depend on, in the times they have him in the game.
Yeah. And again, the tape from Kansas State, I think that's where he was from. Definitely shows the ability to do that.
Yep. The other guy that I think I'm really curious to see what he can do is Kane Medrano, the linebacker from UCLA. Kane was a guy that came in. He was a little undersized.
He's still a little undersized.
Well, I mean, he's put on some muscle. He's gotten a little bigger, and he's not undersized from the standpoint of height or anything like that. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's 6'3", but he's listed as 6'3", 230 right now.
Yeah, which is like your typical starting safety in today's league.
Yeah. So again, Durante Jones likes to have hybrid type players, fast guys. I'm telling you right now, this is their fastest linebacker outside of Sonny Styles now. Sonny I didn't forget. Yeah. But last year he was their fastest linebacker. He just, again, playbook, how is he being utilized? Porous defensive coordinator as far as calling plays, how they were doing stuff. I think this is a guy that could take a step forward this year under Durante Jones. Am I saying he's going to start? No, he's not. But is he a guy that could get some meaningful reps that's just not on special teams? I think he could.
Yeah, I look at him and Jordan McGee is another one that I'm
see
that I'm thinking like you could use them in spots where I think last year they just were not utilized enough packages basically.
Right.
Like these are your guys that when you have certain downs and distances, like they need to be on the field. Not because of what you think they can do, but because the opportunity is there to take advantage of their athleticism and their skill set. You don't want to use Kane 4 downs. If you can get him in on 3rd down or something like that, then I think that's where you're making the most out of him. And I agree with you with his athleticism, man. Like we're talking in modern NFL. Mm-hmm. If you are an athlete first, there is a spot for you somewhere.
That's all I've been saying, man. I'm not saying this guy got to come in and be your Mike and call plays. No, I'm saying with the speed and athleticism that this guy, possesses. Former Hooper, too.
But I'm surprised nobody ever approached him about maybe switching to a hybrid type safety position. I don't know. It's very strange because we see that a lot with guys nowadays. They'll move to like that the Kyle Hamilton type position.
I know exactly what you're saying. And again, I know Adam Peters didn't just draft this kid because he's a UCLA Bruin like Adam is. I know he saw something. They were probably, scouting Carson Schlesinger and then was like, you know what? Medrano's not that bad. He's showing some ability. Maybe he's a guy that we can develop over a couple of years. Well, this is the year now for him to get it done.
Who's my guy from Texas Tech this year? The linebacker,
David Bailey.
Nah, was it Rodriguez?
Jacob Rodriguez.
Like I'm looking at Texas Tech for David Bailey, but I'm noticing Jacob Rodriguez a lot. He was around the ball a whole lot, and so. I would imagine if that's me looking at it and I'm seeing this guy flying all over the field, who is that type, mentality? It's probably the same way for scouts as well. Like, you go looking for Schlesinger and you see Medrano and you're like, maybe jot that down. That's kind of how the Niners got Purdy. They were looking at Breece Hall and just noted that this guy has some talent, and lo and behold, it came up at the very end of the draft, but it came up,
and
right?
It's taking him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So it's a thorough analysis. That's what you got to do sometimes.
So it's perfect segue for this because the next guy, the third guy here that I wanted to talk about briefly is safety Tyler Owens. And Tyler Owens, played college ball at Texas and then transferred to Texas Tech. But this is a big safety, folks. I say this all the time. If you're at a practice, if you're at a Commander's practice like I am, and you see him in pads, you see him in the locker room, you see he's a big dude. But when you see him in pads, if you were to just glance real quick and look away, I'm not the only person that has said this, and this is not blasphemy here. You see a big Sean Taylor type guy back in the back end. You see that kind of size with this guy. Is he as big as Sean? No, Sean was just Sean, you know. But you just don't see guys that are that big that can run, you know. So we'll talk about him in 1 second, but I do have a caller that's been waiting for a while. So let's bring Eric on with us. What's going on, Eric?
Hey, what's happening, man? Hey, talking about remember last year when I was like, man, my boy Owens, man, watch out for him.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. I think
just coming into work in the great city of Hopewell Lakes. So just figured I'd call in for a couple minutes.
Okay. So did you hear what we were talking about in the first part? We were talking about the fact that ESPN has their top 10 quarterback list, and it's done by coaches, executives, and scouts. And Jayden's not on there, but Drake May is, and Caleb Williams is, and Jared Goff is, and Justin Herbert is, and I take offense to it personally.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. It's blasphemy. I mean, if you're going off just stats or whatever, I mean, yeah, Jayden in the top things, he was hurt, but I mean, I put Purdy over Herbert. He ain't done nothing late besides
I agree.
Looks pretty on Sundays.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts isn't on the list. I mean, Sam Darnold's not on the list.
As much as I'm a hater of Hurts, I mean, the dude wins and he's always in the playoffs. I mean, what's wrong with these guys, Lake? I mean, these guys make me feel like I could get on there and do their job.
Well, I said the same thing, man. I said, just because you're a scout don't mean you always know everything. But then, like I said, they'll probably turn around and say, just because you're a journalist doesn't mean you know everything. So, it is what it is. But my friend, man, I hated having to, have you wait this long to come on. So I'm going to give you another 30 or so before we got to wrap this up. But, I just talked about three guys that I think could have those breakthrough seasons, not breakout, but breakthrough. Obviously, you heard the Tyler Owens part, but I think Kane Madrano and Ben Sinnott could be guys that could be valuable pieces to what Washington's trying to do this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Sinnott's my guy, man. I mean, I remember talking to Josh Taylor, and he was big on Sinnott, so I started looking at him his rookie year, and I was like, my God, this guy can make plays. And, I mean, with the talent that they got as of right now, whether they add another wide receiver or whatever, I mean, Sinnott ought to have a lot of looks just by default. I mean, it's like basketball, like Golden State, when you got Curry, Thompson, and all those other guys, somebody's going to just get an open look just because you can't guard everybody.
That's a great analogy right there. Different sport, but Eric, great analogy, because Jordan Poole was the beneficiary of that. And then when Jordan Poole became the guy on another team, you just saw, no, this isn't what I saw at Golden State. So good point. So look, I appreciate you calling, my friend. I'm going to check you out on Friday.
All right, man. You take it easy.
All right, folks. So look, we're going to take another break. It's that time to take another break. And when we come back, we have some more NFL chatter that we're going to have for you. And again, if you want to chime in like these gentlemen have been doing just now, all you have to do is call us up at 804-327-0888. You can also email that number as well, and we'll get your emails read as well. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Lake Lewis Jr. Show right here on ESPN Radio. Here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show right here live on ESPN Radio. And we've had a good one today. Appreciate the callers who've called in. As always, if you want to call us up and chime in with us, please do so. Don't be afraid. We're not going to chew your head off. All you got to do is call us at 804-327-0888. Remember that number for future references. Once again, 804-327-0888. And, we were just talking about the last segment as far as those three younger players for the Commanders that I think have an opportunity to take a next step this year in their pro careers. And that was Ben Sinnott, the tight end, Tyler Owens, the safety, and Kane Madrano, the linebacker. before that, we were talking about a list that, still has me a little irritated, a little hot under the jacket right now. Not because of what I look like in the jacket, Alan, but because I'm upset.
Can I just point out though, like, I think you're on to something with Owens and Medrano. Like, when we think about this figurative concept of what the new defense may look like, and if we're using the Flores tree as an indication, or Flores' system as an indication, a guy like Owens and a guy like Medrano probably could slot in to be the Harrison Smith-esque player, like the disruptor. Like, they need a disruptor. You would love your disruptor to be high IQ, but if you had to pick between high IQ and athleticism, you're going to lean more to that athleticism spectrum than anything else, because the disruptor sometimes just needs to be in the vicinity, needs to be around the plays, needs to put some fear into people that if he's not accounted for, he can get to the quarterback, he can deflect the pass, he can disrupt, right? So,
and that's the guy that you don't know, like, wherever he is, you don't know, is he going to drop back?
And if you look at the
blitz?
If you look at the scouting report of Medrano and Owens when they came out, a lot of people had them slotted as linebacker / safety hybrid type builds.
Yep.
So, like I said, I think you're on to something there.
Good stuff.
Be nice to see if it works out that way.
Good stuff. It's taken all of 8 months and 3 days for you to give me credit for something.
It's also taken all but 8 months and 3 days for you not to plug Penn State. And look at where we are.
See, I didn't say it, but they live rent-free in your head, man.
I know,
but
that's
what it is.
I'm just pointing at the correlation. I'm very positive when you're not being biased.
Well, listen, another list that has come out that has people all in an uproar. Have you seen this?
No, what is it?
Chris Sims is getting.
Oh, well, Chris Sims always has
he's getting
weird
absolutely nuked right now, and the reason for this is because he put out a list. And again, I normally don't talk about other colleagues and media folks stuff.
I think he's used to it.
But I have to do this because it's just dumb. Seriously, man. He put out a list of his all-time top 10 greatest quarterbacks based on the prime of their career, where they would be. Do you know he has Tom Brady at number 9? I mean, seriously, like, what? This the kind of stuff that I have to deal with, folks. And I'm trying to tell you, man.
You gotta ignore some things, man. Like, you can't. God. You gotta ignore some things.
I mean, if this isn't for clicks, I don't know what
it's not even for clicks, because I'm definitely not paying attention to that. Dismissed. Dismissed.
I mean, like, wow. And again, Peyton Manning, he had number 1. I mean, Peyton was like that.
Peyton in his prime won't better than
Peyton
Brady
was losing to who all the time? I mean, my
what?
gosh, all the time. He was losing to Brady. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers. Number 4, John Elway. Listen, and I got to say this too.
I'm waiting to hear a name. I'm not hearing it.
I know. I got to say this about Elway too. Great football player, Hall of Fame player. Elway didn't get them 2 Super Bowls until they had a guy by the name of Terrell Davis running the football.
60.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm just saying.
I remember that.
I'm just saying. Number 5, Brett Favre.
I'm still waiting on the name.
Yeah, man. Number 6, Josh Allen.
What?
Right. Number 7, Lamar Jackson. Number 8, Dan Marino. Number 9, Tom Brady.
No way.
And number 10, Roger Staubach.
He didn't even put Joe Montana on the list.
That's okay. I'm so glad
Joe Montana on the list.
You as a 49er. Listen, folks.
Now,
to you young
I
heads,
actually am angry.
Yeah. To you young heads out there, understand this when I tell you this, and I mean this with all due sincerity. If he had Joe Montana number 1 on the list, I would have had no problem with it.
There's an argument to be made.
You can make an argument that Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback in the history of football. Yeah, even over Tom, yes. If you look at the body of work and what he did in the time he played. But Tom Brady has the longevity. He's had success. He had it on a different team. First year he goes to Tampa. He wins the Super Bowl. He does it without Belichick. He's the GOAT. He's the number one quarterback. We know that. But to have him at number 9,
man,
come on, man.
To have him at number 9.
Was the list made with a beverage in his hand or
and
what?
The guy he looked up to, not even on the list, is duly disrespectful, man.
It's bad.
Phil, get your son.
And that's why I wanted to do this with you.
At least
on
he didn't put
list.
his dad on the list.
Yeah. Well, his dad's 11 on the list. Trust me. No,
I was gonna say I'm actually shocked he didn't throw his dad on the list. That's insane.
But again, to even have some current players on there and no Joe Montana.
Crazy,
listen,
man.
you could have snuck Steve Young on there.
I mean, I would have accepted a Steve Young sneak, but like to omit Joe Montana is wild. There are certain people.
No Terry Bradshaw either.
Yeah, there's certain people in sports where it doesn't matter if you like them or not. If we're basing it off of the way they perform,
you got to give them their love.
You absolutely have to.
And this is shameful.
But also, look, people bring it up and we talk about it. I'm not gonna lie. I would have never clicked on that. Especially if I had clicked on it and saw Brady was at number 9, I would have never paid attention to 8 through 1.
I just happened to see it in my feed, man. And I'm like, is this, oh my God. Because it said that there was a legendary quarterback not on his list. So I'm like, yeah, we're talking list today. Like, what's going on here? When I see it's Brady at 9.
I was really waiting on Joe Montana. I'm
no Joe Montana.
Flabbergasted.
No Joe Montana on this. And you're talking, and he's based this on them in their prime.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There's not 3 quarterbacks better than Montana in his prime.
Yeah, in his prime, like
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only 2 I would have accepted would have been Patrick and Brady. That's it. So anyway, folks. Yeah, it was a fiery show today. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys know I'm a nice dude, but I'm gonna
carry this into tomorrow.
Yeah, I hate buffoonery. You and Jack bring this up in the morning.
I'm gonna carry this
is
into
bad,
tomorrow.
man. This is buffoonery at its best. But anyway, appreciate you guys joining us. If you're in your car right now, make sure you get home safely to your family and friends, and have a wonderful evening. Have a good one.